Drivin Ivan here. Behind me, the M12 GTO 3R. So rare in America. Maybe about 100, maybe a little more than that, of the total number of Nobles in America. What is Noble? Well, Lee Noble started off building a car in the tradition of, I'd say, Lotus. And it's kind of a boutique manufacturer in England. And now the two companies are actually split off. The company that really sells them in America has been split. And Lee Noble hasn't been associated with the company since 2008. But still, what we have here is a purebred, really, like I said, just a rare boutique manufacturer. I just imported a Jetta from England, and it kind of reminds me of that too, but not a kid car really, because these are full-on exotic cars, and Lee Noble wanted to build them in a cheaper fashion than cars he had been building before. So, is it a bargain exotic car? It's certainly quick, 0 to 60 in like 3.7, 180 plus miles per hour. It's fast, so let's find out if it's a bargain exotic or not. Let's do it. Just look at it. Certainly exotic, pure race car. The owner, he actually was looking to buy a Lotus Exige. He wanted really a race car. And you know, I mentioned Lotus earlier. It really does have that Lotus look. It's just built for speed, super hyper exotic, I think. Listen to that exhaust tone. It is awesome. Look at that wing. Definitely in a tradition of a very rare Lotus Exige, or one of the really fast track-built cars. But these are street legal. M12 GTO, and that's Gran Turismo Homologado. That means homologation for racing. So, you know, it is a purebred car that just happens to be street legal too. And I'm excited to take it for a drive. But first, let me show you the clamshell. Coincidentally, these were built to be race cars, and they were also built to be convertibles, but they never made the Spider version. Does this remind you guys of a Ferrari Dino 246 as much as it reminds me of a Ferrari Dino? Or maybe even, the car I own, a Lotus Europa. I also have an Esprit, so search any car in Drivin Ivan. Also smash that like button and subscribe if you already haven't. So you unlock all of these locks around the car, and then it seems super light. Just and there you go. And then you have, let's check it out. Looks like your Ferrari F40, right? Your Lamborghini Miura. I mean, mid-engined, hyper exotic. By the way, what we have here is basically a Ford engine, twin turbocharged V6. And it is awful quick, like I said, 0 to 60 in 3.7 onto a top speed of 181 miles per hour. Go, let's start it. Let's hear this thing. Great. But yet, look how accessible everything is. Looks like it was built to have easy general maintenance too. Make sure your fluids are all good and things like that. Wow. Big brakes, of course, front and rear. I just love the raciness of it all. Twin fans up front here. That is really, really, really cool. So the interior of your Noble M12. Look at this. A little storage here, pockets there. Speakers and everything, roll-up windows. How about that? Look at that. Look, kids, do you know what that is? Would you even know how to use that? Anyway, beautiful interior, two-tone black and tan. Very, very nice. And let me sink on in here and show you some more. So this is what it looks like when you're sitting in your Noble M12 GTO. Really cool. Huge handbrake here. The shifter. Wow. Let's see, I'll describe the throws to you. Notchy. Not super short, not super long actually. It's a little cold outside, so the The aluminum knob is cold to touch actually, but I'm sure that'll change after you warm up to it. Look where the radio is shoved all the way over there. More storage down here, see? Plenty of leg room. Very tightly fit, each seat in their own little cocoon there. I like it. And serious gauges here too. Yeah, you got your tachometer up to 8,000. Gas gauge on the right there, speedometer. And yeah, looks like you might even have a what is that, oil temperature over there. Look at that, buttons on the steering wheel. Maybe you think you're in a Ferrari, right? Pretty cool, huh? So there you go. Look at the headliner and the view out back. I know you want to know that, right? See, not so bad actually. Similar to a mid-engine car like my Lotus Esprit, Lotus Europa, that sort of thing. Any mid-engine car has sort of the same feel. Look at these extra gauges here, really cool buttons here. No traction control on this one, but you got some idiot lights here, that's nice, and some heating and ventilation controls too. All right, let's get going. All right. Now I'm in the regular seat belts, but actually there are racing seat belts off to the side too. I thought these would be just more comfortable for street though, but you get 2 sets of seat belts. That's pretty darn cool. If you're wondering what these red dots are, well look, they're horns. All right, let's get underway here. The Noble. Whew. The clutch is heavy, but the steering is probably a little bit lighter than you might think. So just puttering along here at city street legal speeds, and you can tell it wants to go faster, but you know, actually it's pretty comfortable at normal speeds. So my first impressions looking into the mirror here, you know, I have a Lotus Esprit which is mid-engine also, but it's similar, but also this one actually feels a little bit more racy. It feels more purebred. The Lotus Esprit is actually quite comfortable. You're just wrapped in leather everywhere, and you've got a little bit of leather in this one, but in the Lotus I think you're a little bit more separate from the exterior and everything. It's kind of interesting. Let's see what happens. I'm in second, by the way, and oh my god. I imagine yeah, it feels very confident. It feels very fast. And I'm in second, so that is pretty cool. So first impressions, well, wow. So Lewis, the owner, is now holding the camera for me, and wow. So I can just concentrate on the driving, which you want to do in this. You are low in this car. It's got go. I showed you those brakes before. It's got stop too. Brakes are excellent. And the steering, actually the effort is a little lighter than I thought it would be, but still you feel everything in this car. It's definitely strung tightly, and it gives you really good feedback. You can hear the engine back there. You know what it's doing. Oh, the speed is I mean, we got a little loose there, and you know, I was maybe 40% on the throttle, so absolutely amazing. The Noble here is an amazing car. Like I said, Noble is a boutique manufacturer. You know, I feel special when I'm driving my Ginetta that I just imported into America from England. There are serious car manufacturers and boutique manufacturers in England. There's so many, but this doesn't feel like it's been put together, you know, as a kit. It feels solid. It's built with that Duratec Ford engine, the twin turbo V6, so it's got a solid basis there. They built the chassis and everything, actually in South Africa. Oh, Biko, Stephen Biko, the song by Peter Gabriel. That's where it's built, South Africa. But the body and chassis are built there, and then they bring them over to England, and they go ahead and put in the Ford engine and everything, and made it all and finished the building here. In America, like I said, it's a different company now in America, and they had kind of different management. It turned into Rossi in America, and then it was sold on. So they've had a little bit of basically lawsuit thing going on there because somebody else now owns the American rights to build these and sell them. But they're just super interesting cars, and you know, Lee Noble was born the same year that Ginetta actually started, so I think maybe, you know, he kind of had all of those really cool cars from Lotus in his mind when he was growing up, and obviously he had the bug. Listen to that sound too, amazing, and just absolutely amazing. Right, let me grab this camera for 1 second and to show you. Yeah, it's just so super cool to be sitting here behind the wheel of this Noble. It's really quick and really fun to drive. Man, listen to that exhaust crackling. Oh, wow. Look at the full moon out tonight too. Check that out. But anyway, so the owner here, Lewis, he says that when he bought it, it actually, oh, you can feel everything in this car. You can feel the rocks on the road coming at you. But when he bought it, he said it had a racing tune on it, and it was a little bit too tight for him. I can see why, because now he said he changed it. It is still super fast. You know, they say like 0 to 60 in the threes, but it's more like 3 seconds actually. This is a very fast car, and he said he's just had to do some belts and things like that, and the starter, he said it was a little bit difficult, but there are some Ford Mondeo parts, but it's a little bit difficult with the starter. He had to kind of fabricate that to get it going. But in terms of value, I do think that this Noble M12 GTO 3R is it is a lot of car for the money, because you can get them anywhere from really $45,000 to $70,000. That's a big range, but mileage and everything else and condition has a lot to do with it. But you know, when you think about your new car is basically that much money these days if it's nice, and these are very nice. So this to me is absolutely a bargain exotic car. If you want a car that people are just gonna gasp at. The last time I saw one was at Import Carlisle, and I made it a point. I think I started the video. I started the video on that car because it was so rare to see one. And if you want to show up to your Cars and Coffee with a car that, number one, nobody else has, number two, is reliable because of the Ford Duratec, the twin turbo V6, and if you want ultra speed, I mean, you know, 0 to 60 in 3, I mean, sure, there's stuff that's faster, but try to get to any of that stuff for that type of money, you'll never do it. I mean, it's crazy money for a car that does 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds and has a top speed of 181 miles an hour and is this extremely crazy exotic. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Check out all my car videos. Just search Drivin Ivan and any car. And also watch my most recent video, my Beatles in England, Liverpool, and London. I have a very cool special in that one. It's gone viral because, yes, I actually saw a Beatle in that video. Also, U2 in Dublin, Jim Morrison's Life and Death in Paris, And check out my Jetta that I recently imported, my Fiat Barchetta, my MGF that I drove on the Nürburgring, and my Lotus too, my Lotus Esprit, my Lotus Europa. Check out those car reviews. And again, let's just hear it accelerate one more time while I say thank you so much for watching. Smash that like button, subscribe if you already haven't. I am Drivin Ivan.